side, and then we have It's Gosu on the Hellborn side. So the blind band state taking place right here. I must say, nothing too crazy. We got Tundra and Dark Lady for the Legion team, and then Jeremiah and Tundra for the Hellborn side. So both teams respecting the Tundra quite a bit here.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's one of those things. I'm always a little curious when Legion bans Tundra when they get that free first pick, but sometimes it's one of those things. It's where if you know the enemy team is going to be when you know the enemy team is going to be banning Tundra, like they almost always are, it's you can use it as a strategy for yourself as well. I'm gonna waste a ban on him since I know he's gonna get banned anyway, and you can use that to your advantage if you want to pick something else, like or you want to have better heroes in the pool to choose from. So it's not I've seen it from time to time, and then Hellborn also bans Jeremiah, and then Dark Lady banned out from Legion. I mean that's very very standard from each side.
Nothing too crazy about those, and the lock pool phase, starting or going very very similar as well. Of course, we have a Luna over here for Better Looking Than You, and then Bubbles and Tempest from Team It's Gosu on the Hellborn side. So again, nothing too crazy here as far as a lock pool's taking place. Now it's back to Better Looking Than You again. Will we see that Wild Souls? Both teams definitely like to play him apparently. But will he be a part of that lock pool or maybe later on is the question as well. So Panny deciding on which other two heroes to lock, and there you go with the Pebbles lock and Nymphora actually as well. Not too often we see both of them locked together, especially as Legion side, of course, because usually you can only get one or the other. But what do you make of that, locking both Nymphora and Pebbles?
Yeah, I don't know. It's really interesting. There's no way they're gonna get both. I mean, there's so many good heroes in this lock pool right now. You can really choose any of them first pick. So you just got a grab bag of amazing heroes, basically. So Pebbles and Nymphora, you're going to have to pick, if you really want to go for Nymphora, you're going to have to pick him with the idea that you're not going to get Pebbles with him. So, yeah, I mean, they're just very, very strong lock pool. And I actually think when there's a very strong lock pool like this, it actually favors Legion, because you don't have to worry about getting one good hero and then thinking, oh my god, well, they're going to pick the other two good ones. What am I going to get for my last one? So I think this actually favors FiT.
Yeah, and then Tremble, the final lock there from Team It's Gosu. So a little bit of a different lock there, but I must say, with the 5 heroes in front of Tremble, wouldn't be surprised to not see him picked up here. Wonder if that maybe is more of we're just going to make a difficult decision for FiT as well as ourselves as far as that final lock goes. So we're comfortable enough that we're going to get a combo of the 2 heroes from the first 5 that makes sense for us. So I mean, do you think there's anything further than that, or is it possible that we can see Tremble? Or
well, we know that we actually talked to Keizu, and he said he actually really liked to play Tremble. So yeah, not too surprised there. I do think he's strong. I mean, I'm a Tremble player myself, and I think the hero's very strong. But the nerfs definitely did hurt. And the pet simply isn't what it used to be. It gives a lot of bounty, doesn't slow as much as it used to. So, I mean, in the regard of having map control and still being able to push, yes, he's just as strong. Well, a little bit weaker. But, he's a good hero. And if a team is comfortable playing him, and he's a kind of an awkward hero to play, and it's kind of a curveball, so you can use it as a strategy. Now, the bans have finished. We got Parasite, Ophelia, Wild Soul. Oh, I'm sad. Wild Soul banned. Fade as well. Both those heroes I mentioned, actually, that are kind of more popular lately are both banned. Now, Glacius, and then finally with a Silhouette banned by Insania.
Yeah.
So, right-clicking Poly there by Panny, and also Magebane is on the board with Fade banned. I would, honestly, if I was the Legion team, I would take Magebane in a heartbeat. Having both of the hard carries banned other than him, the Silhouette and the TDL are banned. And then also having that Fade band, you don't have to worry about any kind of extremely hard counters against Magebane. So now Poly is good in his own regard, but also there's a Witch Slayer there as well. And I talked about those 2 really, really good solo mid heroes, and one or the other. You don't have to worry about picking one of them so early when they're both available, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So,
of course.
Personally, I would like to pick Magebane, to each their own, though. Polywog is an extremely strong hero. If I were to choose Poly over Witch, Poly or Witch, I would definitely pick Poly over him.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised to see Magebane picked over here right now.
Well, Keizu, he had Magebane selected for a while with the right click. Now he's kind of just going through many heroes, just trolling almost.
Flint Beastwood.
Yeah, Flint Beastwood. We never talk about him. No, yeah, probably not going to say now. Flint Beastwood had his time in the competitive scene. I mean, he was really the go-to carry, I remember. I think it was like him and Soul Stealer, actually, for the longest time. But anyway, so yeah, probably not going to be Flint Beastwood, but you're right. I mean, there's several reasons to go with that Magebane pick here, as you put it. The banning of the Fade and Silhouette and Dark Lady. So Yeah, wouldn't be surprised to see teammates Gosu perhaps look to pick him up here, but you can't really argue too much against that Polygon Priest because it is such a strong hero. But sure enough, we do see Magebane and Moraxis on top of that. So a lot of beefy initiation presence to go with the true hard carry here. And now FiT, they got some decisions because especially, again, you look at the lock pool, as powerful as it is, you know, other than Tremble, which I don't even know if FiT's too comfortable playing Tremble, there really isn't that carry-style hero. So will they go with maybe Forsaken Archer here? It's a carry that we see a lot, you know, kind of that next tier of carry heroes really, or Draconis. So we do see Draconis picked up here by FiT, and well, we know about Draconis lately and the power that he brings. You see, teammates Gosu, the Dargon, picked up right here. So about 50 seconds left on overtime, so it's still plenty of time, but we got to see some Draconis once again.
And Empath. Oh my God! Can you imagine Draconis with an Empath in him?
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's gonna do. And it's funny too because the last time we talked to Panny in the last match when they did run Draconis, they didn't lock him. I believe it was Impunity that locked him.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but they didn't. They've never even played him. They said. They just chose him right there because they had to choose him. So now it's kind of funny that they're actually going out of their way to pick him. And
That's
now they,
right. Yeah.
Yeah. Now they go ahead and pick the Empath to go along with him. I love Empath, by the way. I think the hero is so good. I've talked about it a little bit. But now, as far as the Moraxis pick on Hellborn, I actually don't like that, and I'll tell you why. The lanes are going to be kind of weak, and this means you're gonna have to lane something kind of weak with Magebane, especially when you're getting close now into the lock pool. It's going to be like you're going to have slim pickings. Like, say the Aluna gets picked up now first by FiT. You know, Lim 4 is a great hero, but it's not the best laner. Now, she is very, very good with Moraxis. But that might leave you to have something like a solo Magebane, which is okay. Now what they do with the Master of Arms, I do love that pick, though, by the way. But I don't know if I agree necessarily with Moraxis. I still think their lanes are going to be kind of meh.
So. Yeah. They do got the 3Ms, Moraxis, Magebane, Master. So
yeah.
They got that going for them. No, yeah. It's that is going to be interesting to see how the lanes turn out. And you mentioned, though, you like the Master of Arms pick. Do you think he's going to play a solo role this game, or...?
No. Looking at the heroes, I
meant to say support. I'm sorry.
Yeah, probably a support role. Yeah, and actually, Panny can't click the heroes. It seems like this has happened to me once before too, when I was trying to click the heroes there in the lock pool, and I couldn't do it.
So maybe expect to see support him, but what makes you like that pick so much about the Master of Arms?
I just think it's a strong hero in general. I mean,
okay,
Kenny's got so much utility and. He's just an overall very strong hero. He can lane well. He has a good range on the hero. He's got a good stun. It's a range stun. A lot of damage output with that negative armor goo.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's just an overall very good hero. When you hit level 6, and he becomes one of those level 6 heroes. He doesn't need any farm, but his ultimate is just as effective. So yeah, I really like the hero.
Yeah, that Master's Call, very, very powerful. Now, Panny's not going to get back in time. We're very likely going to have to remake here, yeah.
Pebbles.
They're going to go with Pebbles. Okay, so... okay, maybe we won't have to remake. He got a random of Pebbles, so that works out. He is still reconnecting, so hopefully teammates go so they just use the most time possible, just for the sake of being mana, which I'm sure they will. Again, obviously both these teams, they know each other. That's no secret, and I think it's safe to say that they're mannered with one another. I don't think there's any evil rivalry going on here by any means. So, at least that I know of. But yeah, so it's funny that it worked out that way. We got the Pebbles actually being randomed, and that was their selection apparently. So, and that will save a remake, hopefully. So that's the good thing. We got the next couple, the final two picks here from Team Gosu coming up from the lock pool, and they are using up the most time. But there we go. It is going to be Nymphora Bubbles actually as the final picks for them. So they do pick up the Nymphora as you're talking about. Now over here back to the Legion side, I'm guessing. Well, you think either Tempest or Luna. Obviously, it's not going to be Tremble, but
yeah,
who would you rather see here?
I mean, they're probably going to do a Luna, but I would really like to see Tempest.
Okay.
You could do so many more things, I feel like, with Tempest. Now, you're going to have really strong lanes, though, at the same time with Luna picked up right there. I mean, they could do this any way they want. They really have so many options. They could do a Luna Pebbles lane. They could do a tri-lane with a Draconis top with a solo Pebble, solo Poly. They could do, they have so many different options. So now as far as the Hellborn side, I really feel like they only have one thing that they can do that's going to be effective. and that would be a tri-lane long lane with a solo mage bane and a solo bubbles mid. I don't think they're going to do that, though. I think they're probably just going to do 2 dual lanes, but I think that might be kind of weak. They'll probably do Nymphora, Meraxis, I want to say bottom, and a Luna mage bane mid, is my guess.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I mean, it's still going to work. Mage bane can kind of lane wherever because he's so, like, he's got so much mobility. If you get a shield on him, he would just mitigate so much damage. And right there, Kaiser actually does get the shield hatchet tree, very, very standard. So yeah, I mean, he's going to have a decent time in any lane, really. It's just Mage Bane. That's why he's so good.
Yeah. By the way, guys, as you may see, of course, on the interface, we are using what's called the minimalist mode here with the spectator interface, of course, with the health bars, especially on the side. So we're trying it out right now. I know it is a change, but you know, just feel free to give us your feedback on whether or not you actually do prefer it. Give it at least a series, of course. We are going to use it for the series today, and just let us know later on, you know, during the match for that matter, you know, in chat, if you actually like it or if you prefer the old one. So just on that note, real quickly. Again, I know it might be a little bit of a change, but just see if you can adapt to it, because it does free up a lot of room, really, and which is why we're trying to use it for now, and so you can see actually more on the screen. But anyways, as far as the game itself, of course, the laning phase, and you were talking about really both sides not too sure what we're going to see when it comes to the laning phase. Now, as far as FiT goes, it looks like we are going to see a Draconis Empath down here at the bottom lane. Aluna currently roaming to the mid with Polywog Prius, but probably going to end all the way up top with Pebbles is what I would think. So very likely a 2-1-2 setup going to be ran here, it looks like, from Better Looking Than You. So does that make sense to you?
No, this Pebbles Aluna long lane does not make sense to me at all. I mean, it's like okay, but Master of Arms Mage Bane, I mean, they're in their easy lane, or their short lane, so it should be okay. Now, Aluna should be able to effectively out-harass Master of Arms. But, like, let's say if... Basically, anytime Nymphora wants to, she should come top and just do a tri-lane against this long lane Pebbles. And they'll crush him. And they'll have to... Either FiT will get owned, or they're going to have to respond. Either way, they're going to lose a lot of time and resources in switching it up.
Yeah.
So I really think they should just do a solo Meraxis mid against this Poly. And just have Nymphora come up top and assist with, like, a tri-lane against that Pebbles. Because your main concern right now is making sure that Pebbles does not get an early portal key. Because this Mage Bane is going to outcarry. I'm pretty sure. I mean, yes, Draconis does have a lot of late game potential. He farms extremely quickly. And, you know, the other X factor in that is we haven't seen what Empath can do with being inside
That's a
Draconis.
big thing, too, yeah.
But I'd still put my money on Mage Bane. And as long as you can delay that portal key on Pebbles... I think they're going to be in a good position.
Yeah.
And actually already, Nymphora came up top, but unfortunately their lane is pushed up, so some kind of missed lane control here from its Gosu.
Yeah, it was almost right on cue. You know, right as you were talking about, it's as if Insania heard you, just started heading towards the top lane, actually, after the first creep wave got taken out here in the middle lane. So gave him more access, perhaps a slight lead over Polywog Priest, but, you know, especially since you were encouraging this change, which ended up happening, is it safe to say Moraxis should be able to at least do a fairly decent job against Polywog Priest here in the middle?
Yeah, he'll do just fine. I mean, he went Shield Hatchet, so that's very, very good. He's basically going to get every last hit he wants right now. He's 10-1. Poly is 8-0, so pretty much even. But I mean, Meraxis, he's too damn tanky to really, really harass down a lot. At least at this early level, he's going to get all the free CS he wants. And with some assistance from Nymphora checking the top rune, as she is, so good job. And then actually, Bubbles checking the bottom rune. He has really nothing else to do bottom down here, and the rune will be top. It is an Invis, so maybe Nymphora comes. Actually, you see he did a little jukaroo there. He picked up the Invis and acted like he was walking towards bottom.
Yeah.
Because he figured they might have had vision, and then now he's going up top. So this might prove to be successful if its Ghosty doesn't give it away on the top lane.
Now, we do see Empath port in as well, so this could get really interesting. I believe Nymphora maybe even spotted Empath a little bit right there as she was running up with the Invisible Rune. So, but what a revelation placed by Panty right there. Now, Nymphora needs to be very careful not to go close enough, but they're going to jump onto Pebbles right here. The Seal Stun coming out, and Pebbles had a lot of trouble. Hits on both sides. The final lot of attack coming out from Sender on the Master of Arms that gets the Bloodlust kill. You see the life essence used right there from Empath, or Essence Leak, excuse me, but not nearly enough to get a counter kill onto Nymphora. So the Invisible Nymphora, as you mentioned, that little bit of a juke. I mean, it was obvious that it goes to FiT, excuse me, maybe felt something was up because of the revelation that was placed,
Right.
but it wasn't able to catch him. So Bloodlust kill coming out in favor of Team It's Ghosted there.
Yeah, that's really good. That's exactly what they needed, and hopefully they can keep the pressure up as well. Now that this is a tri-lane Pebbles, though, that could get scary. Because basically, actually, Bubbles takes a lot of harassing from Solo Draconis, and he's going to have a hell of a time down here. But now that it is an actual tri-lane versus tri-lane, it's kind of whoever gets caught out right now. And you know, there's not that much burst on the Hellborn side with as far as these three heroes go, but there is a lot of burst between Pebbles, Luna, and Empath. So it's going to be a matter of who can keep the good positioning. Now, this tri-lane favors the Legion, definitely, because if both Pebbles and Magebane aren't getting that good of farm, it's really going to hurt Magebane more, because he needs that early farm. He needs that early Rune Cleaver to really skyrocket his farm. And if you look at Draconis, he's basically going to have a free reign down here in the bottom lane.
Yeah.
So, and also, now that Nymphora has left mid, this is definitely going to be even. Actually, Poly applying a lot of pressure to Meraxes. If he can get a lucky rune, this rune is going to be a lot. And actually, that's a haste. That's really going to decide the pace of this game. Who can get that and who can abuse that haste rune.
Well, Polywog Priest is heading up there right now. He's going to bottle up. Now, he will be spotted picking this up, so you got to think that the Hellborn side, especially at the top lane, may expect him to come in if he looks to, but it looks like Polywog Priest is going to go back middle instead. He's going to try to sneak around, but obviously Meraxes sees him because of that ward of sight and is going to play very, very passive right here. So Polywog Priest, so again, that sweet spot, of course, being level 6. When he gets level 6, we'll see if he goes for that ward trap, especially with the haste rune now, to perhaps pick up a kill onto that Meraxes. Now, you were mentioning Draconis again, and you were talking about how FiT has used Draconis before. I believe it was against Impunity. I remember it more now. It was when they were running a tri-lane. I think it was like Draconis, Glacius, and Nymphora. Yeah, it was an insane amount of CC and damage and slow. But we talked about his build specifically, how Cookies for Clan Milks loves to max out the W in Blazing Flight. Well, we see right here, Johannesson fan maxing out the Q ability, at least initially. But now we mentioned with the tri-lane, maybe that made sense because of the tri-lane. But in a 1 versus 1, does that still make sense to you?
I really don't even think it matters when you're up against the bubbles. I think as long as you max that Q, that spam ability, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah. Oh, top lane, Magebane actually in a lot of trouble here. Heal coming up from the 4, though. There goes the wall from Empath, but actually Magebane even turning around a little bit. He's going to blink away at the last second. As you see, Pebbles taking a lot of damage there, even from the goo coming out from Master Ron's. The power throw hits, and it does cancel the health potion, though. So the power throw actually does accomplish something right there, despite the minimal damage. But everyone stays alive here at the top lane.
Yeah, that was a really great power throw by Panny there, and yeah, Magebane actually, he did turn around, but he wanted to. He knew that the spells were already cast, and actually they're going to go on Pebbles. The stun comes out. Oh, the great wall from Empath, though, it might cut him off just a little bit. He goes ahead and uses that lifelink as well, and Pebbles one hit away, and then forward does pick up that last hit. So well played right there, and yeah, Magebane actually, I mean, I said that this tri-lane kind of doesn't favor him, but as they get to levels, if he gets a little bit of mana burn onto those heroes, they won't be able to combo those spells properly, and he did get that really fast early Mystic Vestments, and I think that's a smart pickup against this tri-lane here that has a lot of actually pretty much only magic damage.
Yeah, very effective pickup here for Kizu, of course, playing the Magebane with that Mystic Vestment. So yeah, I mean, you talked about how the Legion side, at least when it comes to the tri-lane having the advantage, especially when it comes to farm. I mean, it's Gosu. They're looking off to a pretty good start despite that. Again, Kizu, 266 gold per minute, not too shabby. He's 0-2. So managed to pick up a couple assists right there, and he's also has a 24-7 creep farm on top of that, comparing to your 17-2 Pebbles. Even again, people play by sequence here. So Magebane, by all means, having a fairly efficient time, but you do look back at Draconis though, and just how dominating he is here at the bottom lane. And I wonder a little bit. In fact, he's going to dive right here a little bit. If he gets a Q off on a Bubbles, he may actually get the kill. Will he land it? No, Bubbles going to be just out of range, it looks like, in the fade to black. So Draconis falling back. Now he's going back in, actually. He knows he's here somewhere. But Bubbles is just going to be a little bit too hidden. Meanwhile, the Polywog Priest using the Ward Jet, but Meraxes gets the kill as he activates his ultimate and turns it around. You see Draconis was heading on over with the Blazing Flight, but not able to get there in time. So caught up at the bottom action, but Polywog Priest and Meraxes going, and Meraxes actually comes out on top there.
Yeah, I would not expect that to happen at all. That's really, really unfortunate. Now, he did have that ultimate up, and it's a very, very strong ability. It does a lot of damage, but, I mean, against a Poly, I really feel like Poly has the edge, especially, I mean, they did start with an Nymphora mid, but he left, so actually Poly would have the experienced lead.
Yeah.
When you start out with a dual lane and then you leave, they're going to have the lead because he started with that solo experience. So really, really well played there by Chubby Chris. Unfortunately, yeah, I did not catch that either as I was looking bottom, because that was going to be kind of fun to see if Draconis was able to get that kill on Bubbles. He was very close.
It seemed like there was a couple times where he definitely could have done it, but obviously, again, yeah, Luna, though, at the top lane, she gets caught out over here near the jungle creeps, and Obviously, the Hellborn team just completely collapsed on her and gets the kill, and Keizu actually getting credit for that kill. So it's Gosu having some big fights here, or kills, I should say, again, at the top and that middle lane even. And that means, obviously, I think both at the top and middle, they're now winning those lanes. The bottom lane, again, completely dominated by Draconis still, and I actually wanted to bring that up to you. What do you make of this? I mean, does It's Gosu need to be worried here? Should they be investing any resources into stopping this very aggressive free farm push here?
Right now, they don't really have any means to until Bubbles hits level 6. Now, once Bubbles hit level 6, I think they'll easily be able to respond. Nymphora is also almost level 6 as well, so that coupled with the great start that Meraxis is having, that's going to be very, very good.
Oh, we see the Blinking at the top lane. Pebbles in a little bit of trouble now. Draconis. Oh, that's Polywar Priest actually putting in the. Oh, the Mana Rift not going to be there for the kill. Nice counter from Polywar Priest. The Stalagmites land on everybody. And then Tongue Tie going to lock down Master of Arms to get the guaranteed kill right there. And a great turnaround coming out here from FiT. Polywar Priest, Probusk. Perfect timing on his part as he poured it in right there to set up the turnaround. And Pebbles barely staying alive in the meantime. So great counter kill. Now Mageman, of course, still more than fine when it's all said and done. That's the important thing for It's Gosu, but still, Master of Arms going to take it out, which was the first kill actually coming out here for our Legion side. So at least some good roam coming out for Polywar Priest, as you like to see earlier on in the game. Now, you mentioned Bubbles at the very least hitting level 6. Now, he does hit level 6 right here. And you also see Master of Arms actually headed down here as well. So maybe the Hellborn team is going to look to perhaps try something, but you see Draconis doing some polling in the meantime. Here in the jungle, and he's using that Blazing Flat ability, of course, to farm with it. And again, it's just so powerful, as you see. It's level 3 out of 4. At level 4, if you press W and sit on a triple stacked Creeper, even the Ancients, it actually does 800 damage, magical damage, which is just absolutely ridiculous for such minimal mana cost. It's only 60 mana, and it's on a 10-second cooldown. That's just so ridiculous when you think about it. But so Bubbles is level 6 now. I mean, what do you expect to happen here?
Well, yeah, Master Arms did come down here, but then he went back top, so they're going to have at least 3 heroes down here to kill this Draconis with the help of that Kelp Field from Bubbles. Now, he's very, very low. He's probably just going to go buy another health potion right here. Yeah, he does. And he's going to stay down here in this bottom lane. Now, hopefully he's given word to his team. There's actually some action top. No, I was just kind of faking it out. Double damage rune now picked up by Meraxis, so maybe this is what they want. The Kelp Field could set up a very, very easy kill there with a double damage Meraxis. It's going to do so much damage. They don't have any kind of vision here to see that, so he's kind of in the dark right now. And actually, I think he's going to do it.
Oh, there we go. There's a Shell fan. There's a Kelp Fit followed up. The Song of the Sea, but he's just going to take the stun. That's part of oh, and it's in a lot of trouble. Nice pushback, though, with the Q right there in the Dragon Flame. You see Meraxis actually landing his axes, but the support's coming in. He's realizing he's going to need to fall back as Stalagmites will hit right there. Great stop against the wall to block him off, and Meraxis will let them know who the hell he is, but he's going to get chucked in the air. He's still somehow alive. This is Meraxis for you, but he will fall when it's all said and done. Nymphora trying to get out of range. Will it be enough? It looks like it is. But you see the power of Draconis right there. Even when he's being pursued heavily, the Dragon Flame, how powerful that ability can be, pushing them back, slowing them down, and helping to set up a turnaround. Now they're going to aggressively push this top or bottom lane as a result. Their top tower is getting pushed in. It's actually a smart choice here from Keizu and It's Gosu, but both teams may very likely lose a tower now.
Yeah, that was really, really unfortunate there for Chubby Chris. That spell, you know, it's still kind of new to me as well. I was like, oh, Draconis is dead for sure, but nope, it does push him back, so he saved him quite well. Now, that was a lot of TPs, literally all 5 players that were there to support. Now, they did get a kill and a tower, so it was definitely worth it. But, you know, you still have Mageman up here farming. He's doing really, really well, 300 gold per minute, but I'm really curious to see how this Empath plus Draconis really works out, because I can imagine it's going to be deadly. I really can.
Speaking of Empath, she does put a level into the synergy ability, which you would think, you know, maxing out Q and W at the very least first is what the usual is. But what do you make of that, putting it into the E?
I think that one spell into synergy is perfect. It increases the effectiveness of it by, like, you know, infinity. Just having one
it's
of
that
it.
1.1.
Yeah. Now, I don't agree with maxing, like, leveling up Wall at all. I just don't really understand that. I'd much rather see the Essence Link leveled up. I mean, Wall, you get it up for a few more seconds, but all you really need is that initial, like, block to kind of throw them away, because 9 times out of 10, if they get blocked, they're like, well, I'm just going to find a new path anyway.
Yeah, it's not a fissure stun. It's a lot shorter, you know, distance that you have to cover to get around it, too.
So yeah, I would definitely rather have that damage from the Essence Link. And actually, if you look at it, the way it scales it, you actually get quite a lot more damage. 100, 175, 250, 300. So it does 325 magic damage at level 4. I didn't even know it did that much. Plus,
well, yeah.
it actually scales, the stun scales as well, so it goes from a 1-second stun to a 2.5-second stun. A huge difference there. So, yeah, I would definitely level up the Essence Link.
And again, the thing to stress on that, too, is that when she has her ultimate activated in the As-1 ability, she can use her own abilities with the wall, with the Essence Link. It's what helps make Empath a very powerful support hero, actually. Again, like you said, I agree with you. Very underrated, I think. When it comes to not seeing her all that often on the competitive scene. But you got to imagine her inside Draconis is just absolutely devastating. I mean, Draconis alone with that ultimate activated, what's called a fire or a cataclysmic assault, is just so powerful. You see a poor man's portal kick going to be used right here. Pollywog Priest, though, he will take a Quake stun, and he'll have to fall back immediately, getting his steam boost delivered right there. So an attempt coming out from FiT, but that's the power of Moraxis, too. The Arcane Shield was activated, and Pollywog Priest smartly chose not to use any single target ability, knowing that it really wouldn't have done anything except help Moraxis. So good attempt right there, but nothing coming from it. Pebbles, in the meantime, he is trying his best to get any type of farm going, and, you know, not the greatest so far, but he currently does have about 670 gold saved up. He's only farming around 206 gold per minute. He's going to be jump right here. Sequence in a lot of trouble. Sequence will fall. The wards come out, but the ward trap is missed from Pollywog Priest, so Pro Busk not coming through right there. And Chubby Chris, too, able to sneak on out. Unfortunate missed cooldown right there. As, again, Magebane just continuing to do his thing up top here, pushing this lane in even more now.
Yeah, I mean, it's Ghosty's playing this well. They're kind of going on a 4v, 4-on-1 strat. Magebane's on his own until he gets those core items, and he's going to farm some more after that. But he's letting his team do the work for him, and that's exactly how you have to play when you pick a Magebane.
Look at this triple stacked Ancients. The Draconis is ridiculous. He just killed triple stacks Ancients at level 12, 14.5 minutes in maybe 20 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, by himself. Like, what other hero can do that? Is there another hero that can actually do that?
I mean, maybe Forsaken Archer,
yeah.
But even then, she has to burn through an
She has to burn through an ult, exactly. He used 2 cooldowns. Both are, 10-second cooldown, 9-second cooldown. I mean, God, that is ridiculous.
It's pretty crazy. And actually, he already has his Nullstone there, and I think he bought something else in addition to that. Maybe just a TP scroll. Or
470 gold per minute.
Yeah. I mean, that hero is just farms like a beast, as we come to realize. And I feel like he's even going to farm faster than a Magebane with a Rune Cleaver.
Yeah.
And a Magebane has to, farm up to get a Rune Cleaver, whereas Draconis just does it himself with his abilities. So, yeah, I mean, that's why this hero is gaining popularity, and he's very, very strong. He doesn't have the right-click damage like, say a Magebane or the Dark Lady has in the very, very late game. But again, we have Empath here that's going to help him with that. So I'm really curious when they start actually doing this. Should be really good. I think once this Gosu gets this portal key up on this Moraxis, which is going to be very soon, they have it level 7 on N4. We're probably going to see some more active play come out from them. And I mean, you can't count them out at all. And N4 is so damn strong, provides so much map control for any team that has him. And then you put a strong hero that has a portal key ability. Actually, stun comes out on the Magebane. The Chuck to follow, the Morph coming out from Pollywog Priest. Master's Call used on him defensive, but I think he's still going to die. The wards are also used as well. So a lot of spells used there, but mission accomplished. They got the kill on Kesu.
Yeah, that's exactly what they went in for, and it's exactly what they came out with. So the abilities are there to use after all. So well set up gank there at the top lane. See Draconis in the middle lane. The level 13 Draconis trying to dive on a level 7 Nymphora. Nymphora was able to get the Zeal Sun off, though, and protect herself from Draconis going in there and just obliterating her, so she will be fine for now. But I also wanted to bring points of, as both teams are doing, and as they should be, of course, Draconis, you want to keep your jungle stacked as much as possible. You want to keep the Ancient stacked as much as possible. In fact, we see Empath literally camping these Ancients. She did this for the last minute. Now she's going to do it here. She's going to get a triple stacked again. And while she was doing that, Aluna was also stacking the Legion jungle a little bit, which Draconis already went over to and cleaned up. So we're going to see some more triple stacked Ancients. And look at this. Draconis heads right on over. He's going to press his 2 abilities, and they're going to die in a matter of seconds. It sounds like I'm almost butthurt or something. But no, again, I'm just really just shocked.
Look at that.
The power. I mean, look at that with the wall on top. It's just ridiculous. I'm missing we're more intrigued by the PvE going on than the PvP, but we do see a kill happening on a Pollywog Priest, actually. As do we have a portal kill or access yet? No, we do not, but he does have 2,300 gold. But he was a part of that kill right there. I'm guessing Bubbles with the Kelp Field had a lot to do with the kill on a Pollywog Priest. So good gank there in the middle lane. Moraxis will have that portal key now. And again, remember, they do have an Nymphora, so that is a very powerful combination, actually, between Moraxis and Nymphora. As we saw Luna actually...
That was quite the snipe. Yeah,
really?
That was quite the snipe.
Oh, in the middle lane. Nice. Totally missed that.
Yeah, I mean, look at Jonathan fan. I can finally say it now. By the way, Jonathan fan. I like
Johannesson fan. I like making up my own name.
He's at 500 and almost 15 gold per minute. He's just farming like a beast. He's gonna have his shrunken head up soon if that's what he decides to go. It's actually a good item here, obviously against all the stun and bubbles kill field. So maybe he's listened to me enough to get that Tralf seal of approval, eh?
All the players are looking for that nowadays.
I know it. It's exclusive.
It is. It's an exclusive club.
Yeah. But yeah, also another thing is he's friggin' level 14. I mean, and it's just going to keep getting worse and worse for Hellborn. I mean, this guy can just farm. I think we're going to see a lot more Draconis bans as people start to realize, hey, it's very not to take from Jonathan, he's playing fine, but this hero is actually pretty easy to play, and damn, he farms like a beast.
Yeah. It's Gosu throwing in a pause right here. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a strat pause even. Like, okay, Draconis is level 14, guys. He probably is farming a crap ton of gold per minute. Obviously, they can't see, but he is at 517 gold per minute, 18.5. That is just absurd. I mean, you go back to the fact, I mean, sure, our Mage Main, our Dark Liddies, they can get up there. That's not, like, shocking in that sense, but it usually takes them longer than this because they have to farm that Rune Cleaver first, and then that's where it starts to expand. Draconis just does it with his Q and the W, and the E even built in with the passive, of course. Here, I should call it by the name, Dragon Flame, Blazing Flight, and Fiery Barrage. So he's just insane GPM right now. He is pushing the top lane in the meantime. Now, to stress on the point that you're making earlier, how you still feel confident, and I can see why, that Mage Main ultimately will be the harder carry in the end. But, you know, it's about getting to that point and at least staying on par with Draconis to getting there. I mean, because he's level 4. He's 4 levels higher than Mage Main. He's farming 200 plus gold per minute more than Mage Main right now. I mean, sure, that may close a little bit once Mage Main gets the Rune Cleaver, but even then, he's going to be behind until maybe 60 minutes into this game if it happens to even last that long. You got to figure. So it's like getting to that point. It's just going to take forever. It seems like so.
Well, they're really going to have to get some pickoffs now with that portal key on Meraxis, because if they wait too long and this Pebbles gets his portal key, which he's very close to, he actually does not have Steam Boost, so he's just going that boots and kind of right into portal key. But if they wait too long, their strategy right now with a Mage Bane is they got to wait for that Rune Cleaver to get up on Mage Bane. He's fairly close, especially that tower kill is going to help him. And they're going to have to let him just do his own thing and actually N4 reporting to the top lane with assistance from Bubbles, and they're trying to get this kill. This could be very, very huge for them. Killfield coming out, but oh my god, Draconis doing so much damage! Oh my god! He's going to get 1 kill on Insania. He might get another kill. Nobody does fall, but oh my god, 4 heroes there, and he still almost got what looked like a triple kill.
What about the power throw from Aluna? Are we going to see a power throw attempt right here? I really want to see that. She is going to go for it. Will it hit? Will it hit? Will it hit? Where is it? Oh, it didn't hit. I was waiting. I was sitting up. Okay, there it is. Yeah,
now,
I definitely missed.
If you're Bubbles, you can also auto-cast your shell or your take cover, and it won't even hit. So
okay.
Tisk.
Even if he was porting?
Well, yeah, it would cancel his port.
Okay.
But, I mean, hey, I'd rather have my port canceled than die. So.
Yeah, that makes more sense. But wow, I mean, we saw right there, that's a huge kill, of course, coming out from its go. So you want to stall Draconis as much as possible in this game. And it goes back to what you were just saying. I mean, they need to start getting picks here and there. Sure enough, right on cue. Again, N4, that's what she brings to the table. She ported in Bubbles, who also has that portal key now, and able to set up the easy kill. Not really easy, but they set up a kill onto Draconis. Granted, it almost cost them 2 deaths. It did cost them 1
now,
in N4.
This is why I've played Draconis a little bit, but I actually really like the lifesteal route. If he had gotten a Whispering Helmet there, I'm convinced, like before his Shrunken Head, if that's where he decides to go, I'm convinced he would have gotten at least a double kill and still stayed alive, maybe even a hat trick. I'm convinced. I mean, when you're attacking that quickly with the lifesteal, with all that magic AoE damage, I think that's really the route to go with Draconis. I've seen a lot of players do that. I know Frostbolt Skull is very good for that slow ability, but I really think lifesteal is the way to go on him. But, you know, to each their own. It also depends on every situation you're playing against.
Of course, yeah.
But he wants to get that really fast Shrunken Head. I'm assuming that's what he wants to get, and that's fine, too.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's a case of, here's another option, but you know what? Shrunken Head is also powerful.
I will never complain about players wanting to go Shrunken Head.
I would hope not. After all the critiquing you do about it and saying he really needed Shrunken Head, should never really be a point where it's not good. But So yeah, he has 2,400 gold saved up now, well on his way, obviously, to that Shrunken Head pickup. All 5 here are pushing from FiT. I mean, we're focusing so much on Draconis for good reason, but you look at the rest of the team. I mean, you got Pebbles, he does have a portal key now. Polywalk Priest, 1,300 gold saved up. You see the level 2 Voodoo Wards going down right there, and this tower dropping quickly. A double damage run on Draconis. You do not want to fight into this right here if you're the Hellborn team. So it makes a lot of sense why they say, have our tower, please. We're not going to even attempt to defend it. For a very good reason right now. Now they are kind of pushing the bottom in the middle of the lane. You see the port stuff to the bottom lane. Where Axis, though, he portal keys to a different spot than Pebbles, and he gets away while the middle tower does go down. So probably the best decision right there that HGosu could have made.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, their whole strategy right now is they're going to have to dodge team fights, dodge any kind of pushes, and then do some counter pushing of their own if they can. That's really what you have to do when you play a mage band, and it's actually very, very easy in their lineup right now because they have an Amphora plus a very good initiating ganking stun with Miraxis has that portal key now. So what they can do is just do a 4-1 strategy. Now Shrunken Head finally picked up on a Jonathan fan there, and what they can do is have Mage Bane just kind of push out every single wave that he wants to, and then just get some ganking done at the same time. And actually, right there, Zai as well as Chubby Chris who gets the last hit onto Probus because they're playing that poly. So a good pick off right there. That's exactly what they need. But I really think that Nymphora should just be kind of hugging this Miraxis right now, and they can get a very, very easy kill on pretty much actually any single one on this team except for Draconis. So I think that actually, despite how scary of a farmer Jonathan fan is on Draconis, I mean he's 560 gold per minute. Despite how scary that is, there's still a lot of hope. There's still very, very good things happening for HGosu. And actually, they are leading in experience. They're at almost a 3K experience rate. 3K experience lead. The gold deficit is there with 3,800, but yeah, they're very well in this game.
Well, I mean, yeah, Mage Bane again, that Rune Cleaver. This is what happens. It's a story that we tell over and over again here on HonCast in these competitive matches. We got a Mage Bane picks with the Rune Cleaver, and his farm just completely jumps up. It's completely amplified. So he's actually getting close to a 400 GPM mark, and Keizu has actually been doing a very good job. It's one of those things where it's because of how impressive Draconis has been, it's almost as if that's dwarfed a little bit, again, as for good reason, but he is definitely doing a very, very solid job here. And now Mage Bane, I would think, okay, pretty obvious. Do you think a Shrunken Head is priority for him here as far as his first pickup?
I mean, it's very, very good, yes, against the Draconis, and he does so much damage. Now, this is one of the Mage Bane is one of the heroes that I actually really don't like going Shrunken Head on, because I feel like you can accomplish anything you need to without it. I think the absolute core is Rune Cleaver into a Geometer's Bane. You have to have those images because it's so powerful, the fact that they actually, the mana burn goes, to the images as well. If you'd like to get a Shrunken Head after that, I think that's fine, but I think first things first, you got to get that Geometer's Bane up, because what you can do is you just blink in, pop that Geos, and then even just run away. Let your images create confusion, do a lot of mana burn damage, and I mean that will hurt in itself. You don't have to even really do anything that much. So I think that item is very, very core. Now that doesn't mean, and actually he does pick up that Blessed Orb right there, so he is probably going to go for the Geometer's Bane, I would assume. It'd be silly for him to go for a Nullstone here. And that's really what most Mage Bane players do. Now, Shrunken Head after that, like I said, is very, very strong as well, too.
Well, they do push the bottom tower. Does the Legion team there at the secondary bottom tower that is. Now the secondary top tower is being pushed in from Team HGosu. The ports are coming in, and they're quickly falling back. Are we going to see some portal key initiation? Draconis running up there, but he's not going to be able to chase anyone down. Of course, the Blazing Flight giving him that speed burst, but not able to catch up. You see Bubbles running the long way around, but he will also survive. So everyone's staying alive right there when it's all said and done. But look at the bottom lane. I mean, the creep wave is pushing up all the way to the base tower, and it did get a bit of damage off. So that's actually a pretty good sequence right there coming out from Better Looking Than You, a.k.a. FiT here on the Legion side. Empath, she was also inside of Draconis, as you can see as well, of course, as she just comes out right there. But that was almost an example of what's to come here for the Legion team with that Draconis Empath combination. But not just yet. We still have yet to see that, witness that even. It's only 25.5 minutes in now. What is a 5 to 8 hero kill game in favor, of course, of the Hellborn team. And again, the team stats, they continue to be fairly even in the sense the experience lead for HGosu staying around the same, and the gold lead for FiT staying around the same, about 4,000 and 3,800 respectively. So Nothing too crazy going on in that sense, but again, KZO on Magebane farm is continuing to increase, and it is catching up to Draconis. And then you look at the overall gold farm between these teams. You got a Miraxis, a pretty good follow-up, 345, and after Draconis, it drops down a lot, and it's been that way for most of this game. I mean, Polywalk, Priest, and Pebbles, they've had a solid game, but they haven't really been, taken off by any means themselves. So, really, a lot of this is going to come down to Draconis, you think, in these team fights. They are going to group up here in the middle lane, and very likely may look to make another push right here. You see Magebane, he does have a Homecoming Stone, or another. That's not Magebane, that's Nymphora, actually, all the way up here, pushing by herself even.
And a double damage bottled up was given to Draconis from Polywalk, so he's going to have another double damage rune available to him. And, yeah, I think they're going to push this, but actually it's Ghost who's finally going to defend this. So we might actually see a 5v5 team fight in this 27-minute game that's been so passive already.
Yeah.
Only 13 kills so far. I mean, that's kind of expected when you have a hard carry like Draconis versus a hard carry like Magebane. I'm actually surprised because Nymphora is level 11 now. They've had that portal key on Miraxis for quite some time. I really feel like it can actually be a little bit more active. But it's hard at the same time. I mean, I don't blame them. FiT's kind of really playing together.
Oh, they're going to jump in right here. Miraxis going to jump. Empath jumping inside of Draconis. And look at the damage coming out. Focusing in the background. He's focusing on Nymphora, actually. Of course, Magebane points in. The Mana Rift going to be used on Pebbles. Not going to get the kill, though. Miraxis, the ultimate deactivates right there. And Miraxis very likely going to fall now when it's all said and done. You see Draconis in the background just spreading out the Hellborn team. He got the kill on Nymphora. Miraxis buys back, though. So this is a chance for the Hellborn team. Will it be worth it? He's going to put the stop on Draconis. But Draconis is so scary. He has the barrage coming back up. Look at the Q right there. He takes out Master of Arms. And Magebane has a blink away. And now Miraxis, it's his turn as the Cataclysmic Assault is activated once again. But not going to do too much as Miraxis just fell back. So the tower goes down. So that was a case, I mean, in the end, Draconis still tore through them, but although he wasn't doing the most damage there overall, he was forcing them to completely spread out, as we saw in the background, and it seemed like its Ghost could do very little.
Yeah, well, Miraxis got caught out there in the beginning, and you can't fight. I mean, oh god, Savage Mace now picked up a. This is, I thought this was going to be okay for its Gosu, but these double damage runes are playing a huge factor as well. I mean, you cannot fight against that. There is nothing you can do when you're fighting against a Draconis with an Empath plus a double damage and a Shrunken Head. Yeah, Deny coming out there. Actually, and then he actually goes on to Magebane Defensive Master's Call coming out. I think he was going to be fine either way, but good heads up.
Sorry, Draconis is getting caught right here. He activates the Shrunken Head. Oh, look at Bubbles just melt to the ground. Miraxis gets his ultimate off, but what is he going to be able to do? He is taking the damage. He's chasing Polywalk Priest, but now he's completely walled in, and Miraxis is also going to fall right here. Nymphora just runs away, says, sorry, I love you, but there's nothing more I can do. Oh my god, Draconis is just a freaking one-man wrecking crew right here. Now, the reason why I was freaking out a little bit, because Nymphora ported both Bubbles and Miraxis down here at the bottom lane, and it looked like they were just about to jump in, but he had his spidery senses were tingling, and he fell back at that same exact time, and of course he went to the jungle. He eventually ran into Bubbles, and well, we saw the end result. And look at how quickly this is. Did the minus armor?
Are we playing Dota 2?
Are we playing Dota 2? Is this old HoN? Is this Dota 2? Roshan? What the hell? Wow. I mean, Kongor just died. That's the fastest I think I've seen Kongor die since those changes happened.
And this isn't like an early Kongor kill. This is 30-minute Kongor kill we're talking. So
yeah,
that's pretty ridiculous. I mean, they did use the Empath ulti. Draconis and Savage Mace, and Polywog words were used. But oh my god, that died so fast. It's just unfortunate because when they're pushing like that as 5 and you have the Polywog words, they actually didn't even start up with the Polywog words. You actually use them to get the ward trap onto Miraxis there. But there's literally nothing you can do. And that's why I was kind of surprised at first. I said, well, it's Ghost who's actually going to defend this because that's not really what they should be doing. They should really defend in the base. Like, use the uphill advantage, well, to their advantage. I mean, that's what you have to do. Spread it out, push out those outer lanes literally until you absolutely have to TP back. Yeah. Get as much time as you can because you cannot teamfight them right now. You have to get some pickoffs. Or, you teamfight them when you absolutely have to. So, it's getting bad. It's getting really, really scary for its Ghost. Draconis is just farming so out of his mind. And I really feel like Nymphora needs to be hugging someone else other than this Magebane. And let Magebane be alone, and Nymphora needs to be with these gankers. Like, they should be porting with Bubbles and Miraxis and constantly maybe looking for pickups. Again, I said earlier, it's not all their fault. FiT is playing very, very smartly, and they're all kind of sticking together as they should.
Yeah.
So it's hard to get pickoffs in that sense, but I would still try to look for some kind of opportunity. Sitting around in Mage Bane while he's farming is not going to be a good opportunity.
Normally, that could work. You're right. Obviously, in this game, that's not going to work, it seems like. And to be fair, again, they did attempt to jump Draconis at the bottom lane, but the timing was just maybe a couple seconds off, and by the time they did get to him, the support was close enough, but even himself, I mean, we saw just the raw damage, the power that he puts out. He picked up a Firebrand. What is he? Okay. This is ridiculous. He just got another double damage rune. It seems like every fight they're going into, he has a double damage rune on top of just his insane farm.
And he has a Savage Mace, too. He can just... Right now, he should know that he can just attack the tower, and he's going to be fine. He has an Aegis. Put that empath in him, and actually...
we see Pebbles jump in. There's a shrug at Draconis, and oh my god, that's Moraxis! He didn't have his ultimate, but Moraxis just melts as if he's absolutely nothing. Mage Bane's just pushing the top lane in the meantime, hoping to get any type of distraction going on, but the tower goes down. The melee Rax is just going to die in a matter of seconds, and so will the rangebacks, but Mage Bane is doing something up here at the top lane. He does take out the tower, so at least he accomplished something, but the middle Rax completely cleared out. Jonas on Fan goes right to the bottom lane. Now they are going to jump right here onto Insania, and he dies in a matter of a fraction of a second even. Mage Bane gets caught, and that's Mage Bane blinking away at the last second. You see Draconis going to dive the well even. He has Cataclysmic Assault, but he's not going to dive too far. Very smart right there, playing safe. He falls back despite even having that token of life, and he's going to go right for this bottom tower now. So what can It's Gosu do right here? It seems like their options are so limited. They are going to jump in. Mage Bane jumps in. Actually, Draconis is getting burned through. Draconis, look at the return damage on Mage Bane. Mage Bane plays at the last second to survive, but Draconis will come right back up because of the token of life, of course. The tower is denied, but still goes down. That's the big thing. And now Draconis is falling back. Now, can the Hellborn team catch Draconis here? Oh, they are going to get Empath, actually, or at least Bubbles tablets out the Homecoming Stone, but he will be fine, it looks like, in the end. Pebbles ports away. Now the Axit does hit Jonas and Fan. The second Axit will hit as well. Oh, no, it missed, actually. Song of the Sea comes out. But you see the offensive master's call right there on Moraxis, trying to get him close up. He's going to try to port out with a shrunken head, and I believe he should be fine. Yes, nothing they can do to stop that. So Draconis does survive in the end.
Actually, Mage Bane ulti was up right there.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh.
But, you know what? He has a null stone. I'm stupid.
Yeah.
My God, this hero is... he's got 600... I mean, he did get the null stone first, so I'm dumb in that regard. But just... I mean, look at him. He did so much damage. I mean, I'm kind of speechless. You saw me just writing this. I mean, I cannot believe how much damage he's outputting.
Press 5.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's not surprising, but oh my god. Here we go once again. They catch Bubbles right there. Moraxis gets caught out again. And you just see Draconis as well as everyone else just tearing him up. I mean,
oh my god.
It's Ghost has got to be, what is going on through the mind of It's Ghost? It's, again, they have a Mage Bane who's farming 435 gold per minute. He has his Geometer's Bane. He has another 2,800 gold saved up. He's just completing triple stacked Ancients right here. So, and he just passed a Haste Rune, actually. That's unfortunate. But he is doing good. But does It's Gosu still have a chance here?
Well, he's doing good. Kasu's playing well, but he wasn't doing as good as a Mage Bane should have when you're picking Mage Bane here. And I really think, like I said, actually an M4 port coming out to the bottom over here. Oh, they're just going to do some backdooring.
Yeah.
So they realize, I mean, this is kind of a smart play. They realize there's nothing they can do to
They're not going to win this race, though. If they make this a race, they're not going to win.
Well, I think they're just going to take these racks and then try to back off and fight.
They're going to lose their own racks, though, as a result of
Well,
this,
they're going to lose them either way.
Good point, yeah.
They can't fight. I don't agree, though, with that Geometer's Bane popped by Mage Bane. He absolutely needs that to... That was a really, really big mistake there.
They're going straight for the Shrine, baby. They're saying, you know what? You want to make this a race? We'll gladly make it a race. They're going to go for the Shrine defensive tower. Now, Pebbles gets jumped right there, and he melted in a matter of seconds, actually. So that was a very good jump coming out from It's Gosu. Mage Bane jumps back in. He got 3 seconds stun, though, by a Luna. Now he's completely locked down and gets a Mana Rift off, but he cannot get away in time. Draconis just burns right through him. Now, of course, the buyback from Mage Bane, so he's going to come right back up, and Draconis needs to realize this. He needs to be a little bit careful here, but with Empath inside, you see the Speed Burst coming out. Bubbles, oh my god, he did pour it. What was Bubbles thinking, actually? I was surprised he poured it. Bubbles very likely going to fall. You see the wall's going to come out. The final auto attack finishes him off. Now Mage Bane going to finish off Polywar Priest as he was trying to lock down Moraxis long enough. But now Moraxis and Mage Bane running away from Draconis Empath. And here we go. Mage Bane comes back in with the illusions. Draconis gets the kill to Moraxis, but now his man is burned. But like that freaking matters, he has his right-click auto attack still. The blink at the last second. Going to keep Mage Bane alive. But Draconis is still very, very, very strong. Now,
got an annihilation, by the way.
Oh yeah, he got an annihilation. You know what? I just assumed that was like not surprising, so I didn't even feel it was worth mentioning. He is going to take out the deep of the tower right here. The shrine is completely exposed. Magebane going to do what he can, but Luna's here now. I mean, Draconis, look at that! Magebane nearly dies once again. Oh my god, I think it's safe to say this game is basically over. It's just a matter of time now. Are they going to concede or just let the shrine die is the question at this point, but wow, that is just ridiculous what Draconis is doing this game.
Oh my god, I mean, he's at up to 700 gold per minute, just about. This is another 6,100, and actually an Energizer picked up, I believe, on somebody. Yeah, that was Empath there. And they're going to go in. Great Luna stun there coming out and just does so... I mean, this hero, I'm really kind of speechless. I mean, this hero is going to start to get banned quite frequently now. The Tongue Tie coming out onto Magebane, and look at that Cataclysmic Assault, just destroys. GG, well played coming out. I don't know. That hero is just gaining popularity, and for good reason, I gotta say. Now, this really goes back to the very beginning. You're talking about now, Magebane. He was still doing a good job, but I was wondering why they picked Magebane, and then they picked Magebane Meraxis. Now, I feel like if they picked another support, they would have been in a much better position.
Yeah.
They were just kind of had some weak lanes, and I don't think that was very good for them.
Man, I mean, now, first off, I will say, I think it's safe to say, going into the second game, well, granted, Team It's Gosu, they do have the first pick. They are going to be the leading side. So I wonder still if we're going to see a Draconis ban, because I wonder how comfortable they are playing it, or if they'll maybe try to make DreamHoN, or not DreamHoN, FiT ban it themselves. But, yeah, that's going to be interesting first off to see how the picking stage goes, especially just surrounding Draconis, of course. But, man, I mean, we got to really see. Now, we knew how powerful. Well, did we though? I mean, obviously, Cookies he did very well with it. Jonas and Fan did very well with it the last time as well against Impunity. But this was just. It seemed like even on another level here with this hero. I mean, we knew that he was just an insane farmer, but that good. I mean, wow, he finished the game with base nearly 700 gold per minute. I mean, he was just tearing up the Hellborn team. But I will say at the very end there was a shout out to the big DDs, the double damage runes, and that is a fair point. He did, like I kept stressing, he had at least 4 or 5 instances where he had double damage runes going into those fights. It was ridiculous. So you could argue maybe that's a little bit of RNG favor, and on top of having an empath inside,
yeah.
I mean, maybe that helped a little bit in terms of making him just seem crazy broke in that game. But I will say, again, even without those, he has proven to still be pretty powerful, but you got to keep that in mind, that maybe RNG was a little bit in their favor in that sense, too.
It was basically like a triple damage between the empath and the double damage rune. And so, yeah, we can't forget about that. That definitely helped in these fights. But at the same time, you know, if you're It's Gosu, it's not like they really kept it a secret that he had these double damage runes. When you see that, you really have to say, okay, he's got a DD, we can't fight this. Yeah. Because we're going to have a hard time enough as it is to fight, you know, Draconis having this much farm with an empath in him.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's just kind of like a small fault on It's Gosu's part. You cannot fight into that. And we saw at the very end they had the idea that, well, okay, we figured out very easily that we cannot fight them, so we're going to do some counter-pushing of our own. Now, I don't really agree with at the very end case you kind of splitting his images right there, because he absolutely needs those to fight, but, you know, I'm nitpicking here. That's not the biggest deal. The biggest deal was their draft is just simply, it didn't give Magebane complete free farm, but at the same time, it gave Draconis complete free farm for FiT. And so they needed to have that kind of balance. They didn't really have a free farm in their team. So that's a little unfortunate.
That's true. Very, very good point. So it's like I said, the starts with the picking phase as always, and this picking phase is going to be very, very, very interesting, especially with that Draconis steal. So, yeah. On that note, guys, we're going to take a quick break right here, and of course, we'll be coming back at you with game number 2 just around the corner. Team It's Gosu taking on Better Looking Than You. It's such a big matchup. Right now, FiT is up 1-0. Thanks to Draconis. Stay tuned, guys. Game 2 coming up next.